Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2019 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the last half of March today from the 15th through the 31st. It's raining here right now and a bunch of clouds just rolled in. It seems very dim in here. Hopefully that's not going to translate to the cards. So welcome to everybody here. Welcome to any newcomers and welcome back to any returning people, followers, and subscribers. Thank you to all of you for taking the time to tune in today. For those of you who take the time to send in your feedback and comments and support. To all of my clients out there, both regular and new, thank you so very much for keeping me always so very busy with personal readings. It's an honor and a pleasure always to read for you. As many of you who follow me know, if you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description link below. You can go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the little About button there. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I can usually respond to your initial inquiry the same day or within the first 24 hours with more info. And as I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week, it is all that I do. I can usually work pretty diligently with both your schedule and mine to get you a reading in as timely a fashion as possible. So send me an email if you're interested, and we'll go from there. I do a wide variety of readings of all different types and lengths and costs in all areas of life. All right, moving right along, this reading is for the earth sign of Capricorn for March 15th through the 31st. If you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well for additional clarification, because as most of you know, general readings are always going to resonate a little differently for everybody watching. All right, Capricorn. Let's see what's in store for you for the last half of March. Gosh, I feel like it's so dark in here. I apologize if this video comes out dark. We have a lovely storm rolling in. Okay. All right, Capricorn, we begin with the World, followed by the Six of Swords. We have Death, followed by the Ten of Wands. I'm liking this. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance for the last couple of weeks of March is the Ace of Pentacles. So Capricorn, it is all about moving away from whatever it is that has been difficult or painful or challenging or chaotic or exhausting or all of the above in your life. It is all about bringing stuff to an end. And I'm seeing that kind of across the board with a lot of both clients and general readings too, pretty much all over the place. Cycles coming to an end, struggling to bring a cycle to closure. And it looks like many of you Capricorns have either recently done that or are in the process of wrapping that up and are on to new beginnings. We have the World and the Six of Swords. So the World is a card of completion, pretty major completion, but it's about looking forward to a beautiful and bright new future too. And it is a card of accomplishment too. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot. The first one being the Fool. He has the 0 at the top of his card, and he's just starting off on the journey through life, which is our journey through life. All the cards after that are about the Fool's journey, our journey through life, until we get to the very end of a particular section or chapter, the World. We've reached the top of a particularly significant mountain, and even if you feel like you know had to claw your way up this mountain, whatever this ending is for you, this closure is for you, it is a sign of achievement that you have now reached the top of it, and you're looking forward to a bright new beginning. This is about looking forward to the hopes and possibilities of what lies next in front of you. It's kind of similar in a way to the Fool. The Fool is also dancing off, getting ready to dance off on the beginning of a new path, and he's very excited. The World is about that journey that we finished taking, a specifically significant journey. We've closed that out successfully, and we're now looking forward to what lies ahead. Now, what's clarifying it is the Six of Swords, which is even better because this is a card of healing, of peace and restoration and healing. Sometimes there's a little bit of bittersweet energy to this card because the healing process, particularly in the initial phases of the healing process, can sometimes be kind of painful. The early days, sometimes you have more bad days than good days, but as time goes on, it's about those getting more perspective and healing and taking our lessons with us. If you could see the water behind this boat symbolizing what she's leaving behind or he's leaving behind, the water would be very choppy and wavy and turbulent. She is moving away from that by the light of the full moon. Now it's transitional, meaning you've left the worst behind you and you're not quite to the other shore and on solid ground yet, but you are definitely moving towards that successfully too as well. So I feel like many of you who are closing out one thing and moving ahead to the other, I feel like that you're probably still, maybe some of you maybe still having days where you're like, oh, I miss that thing, or I miss that person, or maybe looking back with still maybe some regret or some nostalgia. But you've left the worst behind you and you are definitely moving forward and you're excited about what lies ahead too. And that's what the last half of March looks like. It's really centered about. And next we have Death and the Ten of Wands, and it's interesting the placement of the cards because the World is right next to Death, and these are both cards of, this is a flat out card of ending and typically of something coming to an end which has been around for quite some time. It's time for it to die a natural death. And then the World here, significant completion and achievement, bringing something to an end. Death is about clearing the ground out so that there can be rebirth, because birth follows death. Beginnings follow endings. That's the way that it is. So definitely, and I also feel too like whatever you're leaving behind, Capricorn, it's been a long cycle, I think, for a lot of you. And while I think many of you are not quite completely out of it, you're left it behind or you're leaving it behind, and every day is moving you further and further away from it. And this heavy burden too, because we have this Ten of Wands which is sitting next to that Six of Swords. I mean, what is ending? What are you moving away from? Here, this is actually how the cards looked. She is moving away from this, whatever the source of this burden is, and he is moving away as well. Tens do represent cycles ending or the circle closing, bringing something to an end, or something just kind of cycling down, because I am feeling that for many of you, that, I mean, some of you may have completely closed this out and you're moving forward, but I feel like for many of you, you're in the very tail end of it, or you've just maybe finished the last thing, signed on the dotted line, packed the last box, wrapped it all up with tape. So you're officially done, but you're still maybe taking care of some last few things or moving away from it. And it looks like it has been rather a heavy burden. And often this card comes up when somebody maybe has been feeling very tired and worn out and overwhelmed and exhausted. I mean, for some of you, this might be the closing out of a relationship, a long-term relationship, a marriage, a friendship even. It could be the closing out and moving away from perhaps a job, a career, a business, or a career path, which may have had its rewards, but overall you're kind of glad to be shut of it. It's become maybe quite a bit of a burden and a worry. It could be that you are successfully completing a course of education or a long-term project of some kind that you worked and worked and worked and worked and struggled with. Again, you're bringing that to an end. It's an absolutely beautiful reading, and your overall energy from the bottom of the deck, Capricorn, is the Ace of Pentacles. Tangible new beginnings. Aces represent the number one, so they always represent the start of something new, the seed which holds a lot of potential if it's carefully planted and nurtured and taken care of, or the spark that you can fan into a flame. Pentacles is earth energy, so it's tangible energy. This could be moving, relocating, starting a new job. Sometimes the Ace of Pentacles can represent starting a new business, receiving the resources, or even sometimes money that will enable you to have a new beginning. And maybe it's not a big sum of money, and maybe the beginning of, or what you're actually moving towards or starting, may just still be in its infancy because this is very early on in the path. It's the ace, it's the number one, but it has a lot of potential, this idea. And I have to tell you too, the way that the cards are looking, the world card where she's looking ahead at this beautiful new future and possibilities and potential, she's looking directly at this brand new beginning, this new idea, this beginning of growing something beautiful, which for some of you, I mean, this could be physical moving too, like actual moving, relocating, starting a new job, all of the above. It could be starting a new business. It's something which has a great deal of promise if it's carefully taken care of and nurtured. It's an absolutely fantastic reading. You have, let's see, you have 2 major arcana, 1 pentacles, 1 sword, 1 wand. So, I mean, it could, I sometimes like to take a look at elemental energy because it's often quite clear what area of life this is going to resonate in for a lot of people. But it could really be anything here: job, work, career, moving, relocating. It could be moving away from an old relationship to start your life over again in a very practical, tangible way. It could be the beginning of a new relationship, although I'm not feeling that very strongly. I feel like for a lot of you, although a relationship could have been involved in terms of closing one out, I'm not feeling particularly like moving forward. This feels very much more hands-on, like career or job or business, or perhaps relocating and moving at the same time. It's just absolutely beautiful, Capricorn. So that pretty much wraps up your March 2019 15th through the 31st. I almost stumbled over what time it was, the last half of March. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading, you can email me directly at maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. You can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that little about button, or you can click on the description link below for more info and contact details. I do love and romance, of course, career, work, and finance, compatibility charting for couples, investment readings, gift readings, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look, because they both cost the same. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided. There's a few different options on Instantgo, but I find it particularly useful for clients who are looking for quick answers to the quicker, easier questions. So there's a few different things to choose from. So Capricorn, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2019 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.